Hey guys, Vas here from Aussie Playground, and today I'm going to be taking up my newly built Tek Sumo. Now there's a few things that I've changed on this wing. First and foremost, I've painted the underside completely different. Now this is just using Lexan paint. I'm using a 50 amp Hobby King ESC 2200 milliamp 3S LiPo, and I've got my NTM, which is a 2836 2200 kV brushless motor. Now this system was actually in my Bixler. I've since disassembled my Bixler because I've kind of got tired of it. I'm a little bit surpassed that plane. My skill level calls for more, and yeah, I've put all of this, basically the same setup that I had in that plane, I've put it in here, and this thing absolutely hammers. Now, additional to the paint job and everything else, I've put a carbon fiber spar running all the way along the edge of the wing on both sides. Hopefully you guys can see that. I've also got another carbon spar sort of running here where the 2200 milliamp battery is, and there's another one going crossways right along here. Now these are rectangular spars, they're not round spars, so they offer an enormous amount of stiffness. And of course you can see my landing gear that I've sort of created myself out of some push rods from the disassembled Bixler actually. I am running a 7x3 prop. I think I can even go a little bit more than that, but 7x3 is actually not that bad. And yeah, this thing boogies pretty nicely. So I'm going to be taking it up in the air. I'm going to show you how it flies, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Now I only just finished building this plane yesterday, and I maidened it yesterday. I had a bit of a flight over at my usual field, and dialed it in with the help of my buddy Paul. We got this guy all trimmed out, and it rolls real nice, powers on real nice. That's full power right there. So it goes pretty nicely, very stable. Now of course, as you can see, we're not at my usual flying field near my house. I've had to travel out a little bit because there were people playing cricket there this morning, so couldn't really fly there this morning, unfortunately. Might be able to later on this afternoon though. It is an absolutely stunning day. It's the first day of daylight savings, and I can tell you I'm very much going to enjoy this summer because I have a lot more planes than I did last summer. I have my skills have improved as well, so I'm very much looking forward to this summer and getting out there and doing some more flying, which is something that I didn't do at all during winter. And it's funny, but once I actually did decide to start flying again this year, it was nerve-wracking. It was like I was learning the whole thing over again. But it only took you know, a couple of flights before it all sort of comes back to you. But yeah, I had the jittery fingers the first couple of flights. My first flight since winter was actually with the Train Star. I know how docile and forgiving that plane can be, and I decided to take that one up first, familiarize myself, and then sure enough, moved up to the wings, which I find a real pleasure to fly, and then took up my Super Decathlon, and I will eventually take up the Sea Fury again and show you guys how that one's flying, because that plane is actually really nice to fly as well. But back to the Tek Sumo. So if you follow the channel, you know that I got the little bonsai. So now I've built my Tek Sumo. My buddy Paul's actually, he's got one of these as well. He's had his for a little while longer, and he's the one that sort of got me into buying these. After flying his and seeing how stable it is and how nice it is to fly, and given that it runs these 2200 packs, which technically they're not supposed to run. The manual calls for a much smaller brushless setup, much smaller motor. These are supposed to be real nice, docile, sort of intermediate flyers, but the way that I've got this one set up, probably not ideal for a first timer. But you know, if you dial down your throws enough and you set your endpoints correctly, there's no reason why you can't set something like this up for your first wing and then gradually move your endpoints up, and you know, that'll allow you to increase your skill level. Alright, so let's give this one a bit of a quick pass here. Full speed, straight up, rolls real nice, bringing it back, let it come right down. Now I've set my prop to stop when I cut power, and you can see it stops. Put it back on, and again straight at us. This thing's a screamer. It is a screamer. Flies real nice and low there. And again. Don't know what speed it's doing, but I'm assuming it'll probably be over 100 kilometers an hour with this setup. I know the Bixler was very fast and couldn't really handle the speed. And we sort of did test Paul's wing as well. He's running a very similar setup to mine. I think he's running very identical setup, in fact. And we clocked his at around 110, I think it was, with the radar gun, although that's always iffy. Well, I say it's iffy because as we were pointing the gun at the sky, it was picking up 88 kilometers an hour for some reason constantly. So I don't know what is up with that. I'm probably going to put a GPS unit on this guy and just see what speed it can do, because these things are actually real stable. They're great for FPV as well. I know a lot of people that use these for FPV. Although I don't know if they can carry a GoPro. Maybe a Sierra, but I'm not sure about a GoPro. Straight up again, to the right. Yeah, it's a little clumsy to the right, but it's something that we were trying to figure out yesterday, and we got it as good as we can get it. It's not perfect, but that's okay. I don't mind. It flies nice and straight and true. It's a real nice wing to fly. Took me a long time to put this one together and to put in all the additional spars. And the weird thing is, well, I don't say weird, I should say funny. I set up these two high-tech servos that I bought from a hobby shop locally. I actually had those servos on my Bixler. I tested the servos, everything worked fine. And then I installed them. And as it turns out, one of the servos freaked out. Starts jittering, can't keep the aileron straight. So after I've glued everything up and fixed everything, I had to take out both servos and install two new ones. Only because I didn't have a matching one to the other high-tech that was okay. And in the end, it's always best to have matching servos. One might be a bit quicker than the other, one might have a bit more throw than the other. If you're using two different brands, it's not ideal to be doing that. So, had to swap them both out. And yeah, here is my Tek Sumo flying beautifully. Alright, so let's bring her in for a nice and soft landing, hopefully. Cutting power. And you'll know when it's cut power because the motor stops. Nice and easy. A little flare just before touchdown, and look at that. Beautiful. Well, there you go. Tek Sumo from Hobby King. I'll have links in the description for you guys to check out if you want to know a little bit more about this this particular wing, if you want to get one yourself. But these have been around for a long time. I'm sure some of you may already know a lot about it, probably know more about it than I do. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll speak to you next time.